What are our thoughts on the Israel-related conspiracy theories surrounding Charlie Kirk's death, including claims by Candace Owens that he has changed his position on Israel? And I'm glad that we got through the first portion of this because pre-game to this episode, we were having some offline conversations that I feel like I got a lot of
Mhm.
my stuff off my chest, which I think was good. Before we got into this episode, do you want to
Yeah.
open it up since I've been talking for a hot minute?
I do not.
No?
I I put out on Instagram that I hoped that people will listen to this and find it encouraging, and also please pray for us as we navigate this discussion because we do not want to engage in gossip. That's not what's not what we're about. But no, not even but. We don't want to engage in
No.
gossip. This
Well,
is not
this isn't
gossip.
gossip.
This is about
Exactly.
someone who has 6 million, 7 million followers on one platform alone, let alone all the platforms put together, an extreme amount of influence. And when you have that much influence, when you have any amount of influence, what you say matters, words matter, and what you don't say matters. And there's a lot of consequence to the things that she says because not only the things she says, they're heavy and carry a lot of weight, but also she has an enormous audience of not just it's normies who are imbibing what she is putting out there. And what we feel is that as time has gone on, especially in the last year or so, it's become more sensational, more, I mean, I hate the word toxic, but toxic, caustic,
Yeah.
angry, vitriolic. There's a lot that can be said about that. And if you or someone you know is following her, you're taking that in constantly. And we just feel like there's some things that people should think about, especially this was a very good example for us that we could provide and say, let's think of these things through. It's important.
Yeah.
So I guess I did start us out. There we go.
Yes, you did. Well, it was funny. I was about to
Mhm.
point that out. I was like, I thought you weren't going to
Yep.
start us out.
Yep, I know.
Well, and she's, we've kind of brought this up too, because in regards to, I didn't want to get into the, house and habit, Candace Owens things because that was gossip. This is
Yeah.
not. And to give you my opinion, and just so you know, my opinion isn't coming out of just what everybody else is upset about. I watched her episode last night. Okay. I put myself through that. And I
For
have
you, dear
actually
listener.
watched, yes, I did. And I've watched other episodes of hers, especially when she was doing the whole "this woman is a man" situation. Not Bridget Jones. What is her name? Macron.
Brigitte Macron,
Brigitte Macron or whatever.
Macron,
And
whatever.
what I see is that the reason I ended up watching her episode last night was because I was on the dark realms of TikTok and people, TikTokers who were very anti-Israel, anti-Charlie Kirk, which I thought was really interesting, were very
Uh-huh.
interested to watch her episode last night because
Mhm.
she was going to be dropping receipts and dropping bombs. Okay. And I watched that episode and what I saw was the most disgusting display that I have ever seen of someone making money off of the death of their alleged best friend. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Okay. She opens up, first of all, her thumbnail is something about something no half, no fury, or some crap like that, right?
Mhm. Hell
With
hath no
the,
fury.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm trying to keep my thoughts,
Keep it together, Meseidy. You're doing
keep it
good. You're
together.
doing good.
Okay. With the picture of Bibi Netanyahu, which that alone is clickbait. Okay. Because
Mhm.
clearly everybody knows that she has been friends for a long time, which I'm going to also poke a hole in that. But she has been friends for a long time with Charlie Kirk. Everybody knows that. She went on a rampage after he died, which of course she can be upset about it and she can have an
Yeah.
emotional response to it. That is completely valid. But then she quickly moved into allegations and thoughts and asking questions and innuendos. And she is doing that with her thumbnail. Also, by the way, let me also point out that in this bomb dropping episode, she had all of her donations on and she was giving ads and she was making money off of this.
She had
That
8
was,
mid-roll ads, and she also was receiving YouTube donations, and at first I
yeah,
thought, "Oh, maybe she's gonna give all of that to the Kirks," and maybe she will, But she also mentioned during it, like, "Oh, well, the legal fees are really expensive for what I'm doing. Basically, I'm doing this for you, and putting my own family at risk," which is a whole other conversation. But yeah.
Well, and her matter, and I'm saying this broadly across several of her videos, her matter of communication is insinuating that she has evidence, but providing very little, if no
Right.
evidence at all. It's very much insinuation. And
Yes.
her way of communication is to make you feel, or make the viewer feel, I should say, that they are also on the inside. Also uses language, emotive language, to make you
Mhm.
feel that she is out there sacrificing herself for you. She's sitting in a, like, I don't buy it, okay? I
Well,
don't
but
like
also
being
in a very real way, I do think in a way she is sacrificing something. She's sacrificing the safety of her kids and her family. I mean, when you're that high profile and you're willing to sit in your home and make really big, like flirt with really, really big accusations against other countries and their leaders and your own country and the leaders here, you are inviting that
well, and
danger.
if she was
And
making those, I don't necessarily agree with, like, I don't have a problem with someone necessarily doing that with the consent and understanding of their family for honorable purposes.
Uh,
You understand what I'm saying?
I totally agree with that, absolutely, like, if
But
you're a
that is not what
whistleblower on
she's doing.
something. Yes, there's the difference between, and that's why I didn't even feel like I had to mention it because it's so very clear right now. Unless you sit there and you show me everything and you tell me, "And here's all the evidence," like, actual evidence, not just, "Oh, I'm gonna do it one day," and kinda, like, dangle it in front
I
of
have the
her.
chats.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the receipts, and I'm gonna show all the you know what? Then do it now if it matters that much to you, and you're saying that Charlie Kirk matters so much to you. So much so that you are doing this not even a week after he was shot in the neck, not even giving his family time to grieve before you are now accusing a whole bunch of people of being involved and also kind of putting out veiled threats that if certain people are allowed access to Turning Point that you're going to go on a rampage. And that to me, I was thinking about this. You know how people say they kind of wear it as a badge of honor. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. A lot of it's people say that. I don't care. I don't care. I have tough skin. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And they kind of wear it as a something that you should be proud of. And within the last year, I believe her when she says that. I
Yeah.
really don't, in a not a great way, think that she cares what anybody thinks about her, including really the people that she's saying she cares about right now. If my dear friend, which she says that she was dear friends with Charlie Kirk, and I don't know, I'm sure that they were at some point, and my friend was assassinated, and I know that his family is reeling and walking through the darkest valleys that they will ever walk through. My last thought is going to be, you know what? I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to talk, I'm going to reveal all. I'm going to say everything. Because even if what she's saying and kind of like hinting at is true,
She can sit on it
and
for a
I don't,
minute.
what was that?
If it's true, she still could
Yeah,
sit on it for a minute, and she didn't.
exactly. Because what you're really implicating is one of the biggest historical political assassinations and scandals of all time. So if you're actually serious about that and you have that information, you'll have it in a week and a half and you'll have it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you can sit for a few minutes and be quiet and honor your friend by allowing his family to grieve. Instead, I guarantee that his family has heard about all of this. And that is not what they need right now. And I
Well,
think she feels like I don't care what anybody thinks. And she's making that very clear, including
absolutely.
what they feel right now, what Erica and his parents and his siblings and his children and his whole staff who now are
Well,
being forced in their pain to come out and make comments about what she's doing and say, "You're wrong."
yeah. Well, exactly, because that's what ended up happening. So to give everybody a little bit of background, she opens this episode with this dropping this bomb accusation, and it goes, like, I think it's almost like 20 or 30 minutes into the beginning of her episode. I might be off on the time there. But essentially what she is insinuating First of all, she's very upset that Bibi Netanyahu went on Fox News and shares a letter from back, I think in May or something like that, that speaks positively of Israel. And she is suggesting that that is not all of the context of the letter, that he needs to show the whole letter. And she's upset because he is insinuating that Charlie Kirk was still supportive of Israel. And then she goes on to insinuate and provide receipts, and I'm air quoting the receipts for those of you who are not watching, that he was starting to change his mind on Israel and move against Israel. And then, in addition to that, she brings up a dinner event that happened with Bill Ackman, who is a billionaire. And she's also like, well, where did he get his money from? Wink, wink, because he is also Jewish. So why is he getting his money and why is he a billionaire and where did he get it from? And she's insinuating that at that dinner, at that event, that there was some kind of intervention happened with Charlie Kirk about his position, his growing position. This is how she frames it, against Israel and starting to become anti-Israel, and that he was being like challenged on that, and that Bill Ackman then stepped in, essentially blackmailing him and threatening him and offering to pay him off to stop talking poor about Israel. Then she goes on and plays a clip where Charlie Kirk starts to criticize, or is criticizing, the policies in regards to Gaza, or that Israel and the actions that Israel is doing against Gaza. Now, let me be completely clear here, okay? Charlie Kirk, like many conservatives and many people, have been having the discussion that we have gotten so far into this war, and it has gone that even conservatives are starting to think, what is the off ramp?
Yeah, what's
When
the
is
end
this
goal?
going to end? Which is a
Mhm.
completely valid and correct question. That does not
Yes.
necessarily mean that you are against Israel.
Right. Or
Okay.
you right. And also, he is the leader of an enormous college activism group where he's listening to college students every single day. And lots of them, even ardent conservatives, are going, well, that issue is not actually my top issue. My issue right now is affordability. My issue of housing. My issue is I want to talk about jobs. What's going to be left for me when I graduate from college? And so they're steering away kind of from that. And he's listening to them. He has the ear of the youth and he's saying, we need to be
Look,
talking
just so
less
you
about,
know,
yeah, this is a conversation with the youths. And so she's like villainizing, she's trying to reshape what he's actually doing, when I believe what he was actually doing is just listening to the college students, and what they're saying is an important issue to them right now. They're exhausted by the Israel-Gaza war. It's been going on for 3 years. They're pivoting their attention, if it ever was actually on that. And that's not wrong for him to say that. He's working with a demographic here. And he's always been a friend to Israel. It's not like he all of a sudden
well,
said, never mind,
yeah,
I hate them now. He's just
well,
going, we're asking questions, we're talking about
like
where do we
Charlie
go from
was
here?
legitimately asking questions and voicing
Yeah.
the concerns that I think are completely valid, that
Right.
I have myself. Like, this cannot
Yeah.
go on forever. Okay. And I
Yeah.
especially do not want to be spending money for this to go on forever. That is
And that does
completely
not make you
valid.
anti-Israel or a
Not the
Democrat or
way
anything.
Candace Owens is.
Yeah.
Candace Owens was setting up, if you listen to her cadence of the way she's talking and the insinuations that she's making,
Mhm.
her thumbnail, and how long she goes through this entire story before she goes,
Yes.
now, I'm not going to say, or there's no evidence that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk, or there's no evidence that they assassinated Charlie Kirk. I should have grabbed the full quote,
Ugh,
but
I don't even wanna
you're going
hear
to,
that airtime.
I, I cannot. Like the winking, the I'm just asking questions. And let me provide you my argument and my personal opinion on this. Okay. I haven't seen Charlie Kirk in public with Candace Owens in ages. Okay. That's not to say that they weren't communicating on text messages, because I don't see their text messages. But a lot of us have friends that you become distant with, that you don't allow into your life every day, that you still communicate casually online with.
Mhm.
Okay. So I am not going to completely trust 110% that she has some inside, know how on exactly how Charlie Kirk was thinking, or
Right.
what his opinions were, or whether he was changing his faith.